Wife, 36F, asked me, 37M, for a divorce, separation last night. How do I move forward? We have 2 boys. 1 and 6 years old. I work 40 hours a week at a government job making $60K per year. She works part-time, 20%, making $20K per year, and watches the baby. My mom helps watch the baby for a few hours 2 days a week so she can work. She's been thinking about this for the past few months, she said. It boils down to us having different values. She has higher standards than me. She wears the pants in the relationship. And she's always the one to get mad. She feels like she's the one doing everything in the relationship. It's easier with the 2 kids when I'm not around. Sometimes I feel the same. In that it's easier when it's me and the 2 kids without worrying about making her mad. Compared to her, I have a lack of initiative. She always wants to be moving up in life, while I feel like I can't keep up and would rather enjoy what we have. And she's made it clear she will never slow down. She wants the best schooling and best home for our kids. I, on the other hand, am a bit more simple, and am about making the most of and adjusting to whatever current situation we find ourselves in. I also want our kids to have good schooling and a nice home. But I think that being there for them unstressed and giving them as much love as we can takes precedence over most things. As another example, all the furniture in our house was chosen and bought by her. If I was by myself, I feel like the kids and I don't need a lot of extra stuff. I probably would have an open floor living room, no TV, and mismatched chairs. Maybe an inflatable or beanbag couch. Another thing is that she feels like I'm another child she has to take care of. That she has to clean up after I watch the kids. I would do clean up, but I can't do it until after I take care of the kids. And then, my cleaning is not up to her standards. I definitely suck ass at some things, like cooking, handiwork around the house, decorating, anything aesthetic really, fixing, putting together things. I try to make up for it in other areas like doing dishes, laundry, bathing and putting the kids down, and being the one to wake up and feed the baby at night, and being available whenever to take the kids when she needs a break or to work. She says the things I do are not helpful enough. She also knows that I'm already at my limit as far as what I can do to help out. And she's at hers. My 100% is not good enough. I don't disagree with her on any of these things. Continuing on this way is unacceptable to her. She's unhappy and she's going to be a moody mom to the kids all the time. When she looks at me, she gets pissed. She also feels that it's not fair that I get to go to work and not have to be around kids for 40 hours a week, and do my hobby on my lunch break. She told me wouldn't it be nice for me if I didn't have to walk on eggshells all the time. I've tried in the past to up my cleaning and taking more initiative, lead on life decisions. But either I eventually slip back down or it isn't enough. Or I don't push for changes because I'm content with our life. I do feel unhappy in life sometimes that I'm walking on eggshells. But I told her right away that I still love her and don't want a divorce or separation. I asked if she still loves me and she said she doesn't know. I'm feeling a mixture of sadness, anger, disbelief, and tiredness. I thought of trying to pick up another job to make more money so she doesn't have to work. But then she wouldn't be able to further her career, which would be necessary to send our kids to a nicer school and move to a bigger place. Marriage counseling is another option that I'm willing to try. I don't know how to fix this or how we should move forward. Even I want to divorce you after reading this. If I was by myself, I feel like the kids and I don't need a lot of extra stuff. I probably would have an open floor living room, no TV, and mismatched chairs. Maybe an inflatable or beanbag couch. That's why. You are going to have to actually change your behavior if you want your marriage to work. For example, you might take the initiative to seek out a couples therapist and schedule an appointment. Willing to help is not the same as helping. Planning is not executing. Initiative means to actually doing things without being asked. You need to do a whole mindset change for your marriage to work. You have mentioned the things that you are not great at doing. What things are you great at? My ex-husband also claimed to be bad at cleaning, at the same time as claiming my standards are too high. He, too, would try to do better for a couple weeks and then slip back into his old ways. It's not going to get better because it's pretty clear you don't want it to get better. Not enough to actually make the kind of lasting change that would keep your wife happy. She's been asking for these changes for a while now. And even with the threat of divorce, it doesn't sound like you're interested in making the changes. You need to. I can say from experience. Her life will get easier when she's not having to take care of you. But yours will get harder when you don't have her. So it's time you figure out how to get better at cleaning and other housework. Because when you're a single dad, you're only going to be able to rely on your own limited skills. I don't know. You lost me at inflatable couch. Having to buy all of the furniture myself because my husband doesn't see the need for a TV or an actual couch would irritate me pretty badly. Then making her seem high maintenance for wanting those things? Really? Why can't you cook and clean adequately? Are you using the wrong cleaning products? Are you putting dirty dishes away? Are you undercooking chicken? Can you fry an egg or make grilled cheese? You can learn to cook simple things on the internet or with recipes. And your wife can show you exactly how she likes things to be cleaned. I dated a guy like this before. Totally helpless. Anytime he tried to do the laundry or the grocery shopping or make dinner, it was a disaster. Don't be good at a job you don't want. Right? I did absolutely everything. It was infuriating. I felt like his mom also. She feels like she's the one doing everything in the relationship. I get the feeling that you don't understand what she meant by this, and this is your problem. She has been carrying the mental load for all of you and sees no end in sight to that. She had to wear the pants in the family because things wouldn't get done if she didn't. You seem resigned to let the chips fall where they may. I think she's right to want more than an inflatable couch and just the basics. And you seem to be unwilling to acknowledge that this is a normal desire. You also haven't mentioned any desire to change. So I think maybe you are in your own way relieved. Maybe you aren't happy either. So all of the mental load is on her. She has to think of everything. I don't think you realize how many things she needs to do, and remember, it's not about laundry or dishes. It's about who thinks about everything that needs to be done. What everyone needs. Also, you say she doesn't feel it's fair that you get to work and not be around the kids for 40 hours a week. Your solutions is to look for an extra job? Are you not listening to her at all? She probably has been trying to get through to you for years. She's already checked out. I could have written this, but from the perspective of your wife. Your lack of motivation to want to do better in life is causing resentment in her and has been building up for probably years. She wants more from life, while you're happy coasting through and have no plans to want to do better. My ex was like you. Just happy doing the bare minimum, and I was supposed to just be okay with it. When I left and eventually ended up with my husband, I was floored by my husband's ambition and constantly in awe of watching him accomplish every goal he sets out for himself. I find myself less angry because I'm now with a partner that shares my mental load, and I feel like I'm on equal footing. I now have a partner rather than another burden. You'd be content with a beanbag chair and inflatable couch? With a 1 and 6-year-old? Are you completely obvious to like everything about children? Are you internally 12? No wonder she's fed up. She's married to someone who would live like a tween when he's a married parent of two. You refuse to learn how to cook or clean, or watch a YouTube video to learn how to fix anything, other than an occasionally on-call babysitter. Income and chaos. What do you bring to her life? It may be too late, but counseling. Immediately. Alone and together. You either have to learn how to be a grown-up, or get divorced and learn how to be a grown-up. Let me be perfectly honest. You likely can't do anything to change her mind at this point. I'm guessing she gives you lists of things she needs you to do, and that you either forget, or do these badly, or decide they aren't important, or that when you do finish something she has asked you to do, you make sure to tell her, like a little boy with a chore chart, showing mommy, I just left this type of marriage myself and it is exhausting. Look up mental load and weaponized incompetence, because these seem to be issues in your marriage. And while you seem struck surprised, my husband was too. She's likely been complaining about this and begging for your help for a while. Here are some other hints. Can you name your children's birthdays, pediatrician phone number, and the 6-year-old's best friend's mom's name? Do you know when their next immunization is due? What size shoes and t-shirts each wear? And your mother-in-law's birthday? Because I'm pretty certain your wife can answer all of these without looking in her phone. So she gets to be mom 24/7 to a toddler. A 6-year-old and a grown-ass man. Work several days a week. Do all the mental load for both of you. And then redo or fix the things you have failed to do. Done poorly. Or intentionally deprioritized. Lucky her. This just reeks of weaponized incompetence. Either you aren't interested in doing any better or you're incompatible. Counseling and a trial separation would be my advice. She says it must be nice to be gone 40+ hours a week. To have less responsibility with the children. And one of your possible solutions is to work more? You should have been looking for ways for her to get out of the house more. For her to work more. I'm sorry things are falling apart around you. It sounds like this has been building for quite a while. I'm still stuck on you just had another baby a year ago. Good for her. Reading this made me happy she finally pulled the plug. Just reading all that you don't do drained me. I don't think you're an equal partner. And yes, she deserves someone who is willing to match her normal standards. The fact that you say she works part-time and watches the baby. You have 2 children and while you are at work she does all the childcare. Including, I assume, school runs for the oldest and getting them ready etc. Plus the housework plus working the equivalent of 1 day a week. Financially, she's working for employment for 1/5 of the time you are and earning 1/3 of what you make. So she's making a good financial contribution to the household too despite, in addition to the rest of her unpaid work, both mental and physical. You've said you can't do housework until you're free from the kids. Are you acknowledging that she doesn't have that option? When you say she watches the baby, is minimizing her role in the household something you do often? It sounds like she's right. You have different priorities and standards. That in itself isn't a bad thing. Just different. However, she sounds fed up that she's putting so much into the family and home. Trying to give your children the best life she can. When you seem unfazed. Lost me at inflatable couch or beanbag chair too. The rest sounds reasonable until you provide that context. Sounds like a lot of weaponized incompetence on your part. Honestly, you sounds really lazy and keep trying to make excuses for that. You're a grown-ass adult. And should NT need to be told to do housework and help with kids? When to clean or shower? I don't think it's about money so much as your attitude and it's not laid back. It's laziness. Time to eat humble pie and apologize. Give her a weekend away and you spend the time looking after your kids. Clean the house. Fix broken things and do not contact her or friends to do it for you. Take a few days in her shoes doing what she does. See how you feel. When she comes back, it should be to a clean house. Happy kids. Start talking. Let her talk and listen to what she's saying. If you don't understand, then ask. And repeat it back to her to see if you understood it. Don't argue back when she's trying to explain her feelings. Feelings can't be argued with. Get therapy for TRHE talking part. And work together. I thought of trying to pick up another job to make more money so she doesn't have to work. Dude, no. You missed the whole point. You don't need to be away from home more. You need to be more involved at home. So you want a simple life. She wants fancy stuff. Then you should work part-time and watch the kids so she can work full-time and have a career. She hates being a single mom to you and the kids. That's what needs to change. I think she's thinking that you aren't equals. I mean, when I moved in with my BF, his life changed completely. He went from being a 21-year-old with a bachelor pad to now being a 22-year-old with a basically fiancé and dog and looking to buy a home and expensive matching furniture and a wild career path he didn't have before. From what you're saying, without her you'd be acting as a bachelor. Maybe that idea bothers her. Maybe she's thinking that you don't care enough to do those things yourself and it bothers her and makes her feel like she shoulders the weight of having that life. I never told my boyfriend to change ever. Through our relationship we grew from those single kids to now half-grown adults figuring it out and building a life together. Maybe she feels like you're not growing with her or don't want to. If this doesn't resonate, then completely disregard, but something to consider. Good luck to you both.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.